Hello and welcome to the House of the Spirit. Welcome home. Today we're going to have a reading about a solution to a problem that is on your mind right now. So for pile number 1, we have Aries, Gemini, Virgo, and Cancer. Your significator card is Pleasant Letter. Let's see if we can focus. Maybe. Okay, that's better. Pleasant Letter. Second pile, we have Scorpio, Aquarius, Sagittarius, and Capricorn. Your card is a journey. The third pile, we have Taurus, Leo, Libra, and Pisces. Your card is his thoughts. Difficult to focus today. Okay. So, you can choose your pile with your significator card, the chosen tarot deck, your intuition, or your zodiac sign. So, I will give you a moment and I will see you in your pile. Pile number 1. So, your current solution seems to come from something written, some kind of message, something that will come to you like a text, like a phone call, something that brings you new information. So this might hold the solution to the problem that is on your mind right now. So let's learn a little bit more about what is the problem and its solution. 3, okay, one more. Oh, that gnome. Interesting. The rar. The loam. And Sylvanus. Okay. So right away, I guess that your problem has to do with some sort of habit, some sort of a routine, or a consistent energy in your life, something that is kind of recurrent, let's say, that is possibly a little bit disturbing because it's kind of ungrounded. And the solution that is presented here has something to do with unconditional giving and receiving, but also with learning the truth about something. And I think that this truth is related to this message that you're getting. Can it also be that you are supposed to, now I understand, because there's a special message in the guidebook surrounding the loam that has to do with the wings. And when I saw the wings of the rar and the wings of the loam, it's just my attention was really caught by them, and they were saying that they were kind of tattered and like weathered because you should give until it hurts, not so as to make you like a victim or to enhance any kind of suffering, but to just kind of go to your limits? I think I know. Yeah, I get it. It's such a complete message that I'm so curious for the tarot because I already have such a complete picture in my head right now. So clear. So I think that you have to, instead of expecting a letter, to write a letter, to write down or to communicate and give until you're tired, until you are until the truth comes to you, until you get an answer. So breaking down a sort of a passive, ungrounded attitude and take action by writing and communicating, expressing your truth unconditionally, like love. So giving your truth away like you would give unconditional love. That's interesting. It's like communicating with others, writing, expressing yourself, or maybe writing to a specific person in a way that it's received as unconditional love, as something that's pure and true. Because Sylvania's is about the mask falling off. And it's not that you are lying. There's no really, I don't think there's a lie here. There's just, I think, a lack of grounding. A lack of realism. But at the same time, it's like the wings keep beating and beating and beating until you're tired and you sit down. Interesting. So it's like working, writing, expressing according to your intention so that the truth will come out and you get an answer. Experiment. There's also an aspect of trying different things and not really just waiting for things to happen, like going for it. There's an enthusiasm, there's a boost here. And then you have to try and try and try until you get tired. And it's fine to feel that kind of weariness because it's a good weariness. Okay. Wow, Princess of Cups. It might be something artistic or something related to divinatory arts, to like visionary arts. It can even be tarot. It can even have something to do with clairvoyance, clairaudience. Certainly artistic and original, because the Ra is really defying the rules. The rebellious energy. Justice. The World. Very interesting. Six of Swords with science. Seven of Swords. The Sun. Four of Pentacles. Is it focusing? It's hard today. Okay. Two of Pentacles. The Magician. and the Five of Cups. Okay. The Three of Pentacles and the Wheel of Fortune. There are some cards that are peeking. Let's see what they have to say. The Hermit. I feel there's a kind of a pioneering energy here. There's a lot of truth. There's a lot of communicating, expressing truth, writing down, expressing ideas, and also not being, not really engaging with disappointing energy, with sadness, and using that knowledge to enhance your position, to enhance your wisdom. The Hermit doing this whole process is learning so much and absorbing everything and integrating it all into his experience, his wisdom. It will become something innate. It is a work, a spiritual work, a divine work, but it's also something that brings a lot of challenges, I think. A lot of, it's like the energy of disappointment is like everyday life. And that's why I think the loam comes to inspire you, so that you don't interpret the disappointment as something that is defining your efforts. That's why this is unconditional giving and receiving. So try to be open to receiving the information and the feedback as it comes without judgment, so that it's unconditional. And also, don't be afraid to give until you're tired, let's say, to give until, to have that openness about you, so that you give unconditionally and you feel like the consequences of you giving will always be good, will always be accepted as feedback, as positives that you can turn around, that you can harness. It's like energy that you can harness. This wild enthusiasm and energy, it's something that you can use to focus, to work for an objective. So I think that the solution to the problem on your mind right now is to not give up communicating. Take the feedback, even if it's negative, as something that you can harness. There's always a positive side to whatever negative feedback you get. So I would say the solution is to not be very emotionally invested, to be kind of retreated in a way in your, like your core being, your inner sanctum, to be shielded and protected, and that sensitivity be shielded and protected, so that you can step into the world and come back into that inner protected realm seamlessly. It's the solution to the problem right now. Okay, very interesting. So, any clarification on the problem? The Four of Wands, the Queen of Swords, The Ace of Wands. I think that the problem was just created by misdirected energy. And that's because you had the wrong target at one point. You kind of gave up the process of feedback and of, learning and getting feedback and understanding and changing your position, and not really being too attached to any particular outcome, and just be open to the evolution of the situation, whatever it may be. I think that this is it's more like a psychological thing. It's not really, I wouldn't say it's a very specific issue. It's more like a broad, generalized attitude tweak that could help you with everything. It would advance everything, and it will help you be a pioneer and not feel afraid of the negative aspects of that, like the loneliness, or the unknown, the uncertainty, the hard work. I want to clarify this Five of Cups here. The Queen of Cups. Yeah, I think that this happened because you were very tender, very kind, maybe very sweet, and very vulnerable, very sensitive. And that's okay, that's perfectly fine. But it's the focus of the more of the mind was hurting you, because the mind is like the tip of the sword. It's like the sword that is directing the energy. So if you have all this vitality, physical energy, emotional energy that needs to be channeled into something, into a focus, you have to harness it. It's kind of wild. It's like the roar. It's kind of wild. It's enthusiastic. It's just all over the place. And it's like channeling that. For instance, if you get frustrated with something and you get angry, you can use that energy for something constructive. It's very easy to be talking about it, but it's very hard to do it, actually. But I think that this is the major solution for now, for everything that you have in your, list of things to do. So it will massively improve everything you do if you can channel all your vitality appropriately. So it's having more focus and not giving up, and being consistent in that giving and receiving feedback, giving information, receiving feedback, giving information, receiving, being consistent and not giving up until you get tired and you rest and then you start again. And, it has this chop wood, carry water kind of cyclical feel to this, like the washing machine, rinse, repeat. I really think that there's a discipline here that needs to be improved and tweaked so that you have the correct message come out, and you also have the right interpretation of the feedback that you're getting, and then you harness that energy and you channel it towards moving forward and solving any problems that you have. Super interesting. Thank you so much for this. If you also enjoyed it, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I hope to see you again very soon. Bye. Pile number 2. So something about your problem that has to do with possibly the location where you want to be or where you are, or maybe some challenges, some blockages, like a situation that doesn't really evolve, and maybe there's this urge for things to move. Let's see what else comes up for pile number 2. The soul shrinker, the singer of intuition, honesty, and the blank card. Okay. So possibly there are some interferences with your judgment. It's like someone is interfering with your intuition, and there needs to be some sort of clarification. There needs to be an honest approach. And possibly you're having a hard time visualizing the solution, and that's the issue here. I think that honesty is the thing that is going to open the doors and connect you to your intuition. But I think that there's external interference here. Soul shrinker. You know, soul shrinker to me is a lot about like people saying bad things, evil things about you or about each other. And so taking care to being aware of what you say and what other people say is very important here, because it's like spells creating or like bad vibes, you know, envious vibes, negativity, speaking evil of others, and also having others receiving the energy of others that speak evil about us. And I think that there's something affecting your intuition and your connection to your intuition because of this nasty energy that I'm getting. And it's so different from the honesty. I really feel like the lack of honesty is the issue here. Lack of honesty. Two of Pentacles. Ace of Pentacles. The Temperance card. Knight of Wands. The Star. Okay. So there's a movement towards an objective. There's a movement towards manifestation of a dream, but it's like there's the urge to do it, but there's a lack of direction, or maybe a lack of clarity and understanding of where to go exactly, like what are the steps. It's not exactly a lack of direction. That's not what I meant. That's more a lack of awareness of the next step, not of the final goal. And I think that that's happening due to a lack of honesty. I think that there are people who object to what you are doing, and they are severely like aggravated and negative. It's kind of a touchy subject. I feel like you have possibly touched a very sensitive point, and it's a healing. It's like pressing a button. That's how I feel. It's like the action, like pressing a button and not being too aware of the consequences, and now wanting to keep moving and move forward, and things are not yet aligned so that you can do that. So what's the solution here? We have High Priestess. Okay, let me just adjust this a little bit. High Priestess, the connection to intuition. And Four of Pentacles, the Seven of Swords, the World card, and the King of Swords. Okay, so whew, yeah, I feel I feel like being an authority, exposing a truth, exposing something. It's like this honesty card. It's like kind of resetting the game. It's as if your intuition is leading you to a point where some sort of truth needs to be exposed before you move forward, and before you do that, it's kind of stuck. There needs to be a closure and a conclusion. There needs to be some sort of closure. So the solution to your problem is getting closure on a given situation. Whatever the problem that's on your mind right now, it needs closure. It needs to be faced. It needs to be, how do I say this? It's like before it's faced, if it's not faced, this issue, there's almost, it's like it has no future. Although you want to move forward towards it, but it's not happening if you don't face this. It's very clear and quite blunt, the message. So I hope that it's, but let's see the outcome. What is the final outcome of this? The Sun, truth, illumination, knowledge, the whole, seeing everything as clear as day. From the star to the sun, it's really clarifying a situation, bringing light into the situation, honesty. Now I am interpreting this blank card also as light, like shining a very bright light and illuminating a situation so that everyone knows how to position themselves and what to do next. Because people aren't really seeing the next step because the truth hasn't been faced. Okay. The King of Wands. Yeah, I think that this is the only way that there's a collaborative effort here possible, is if there's truth and sincerity, because this is the opposite of everything else that's here. I think that this is very difficult to face. It's something that's not easy because there's a lot of pain points. There's a lot of triggers. There's a lot of sadness that has nothing to do with, it's just a projection. It might be just a painful projection. We also have the Seven of Swords here. And possibly it's the projections that you need to heal. And it's going to bring those fragilities and vulnerabilities into the arena, let's say. Everything will be kind of exposed, and it's tough. I think that that's why this has been avoided. And it's like an unsustainable process, because there is a collaboration here that needs to happen, and it's not happening before this truth is faced. Let's just clarify this. Yeah, the moon, a lot of fears, a lot of anxieties are coming to the surface or are hidden. Actually, they're hidden, but your intuition is kind of warning you, like, this is happening, it's there, you have to face this, this is happening, you know, kind of on a loop. You're getting the messages, you're getting all the information, but it's not something that you can do on your own. There's a confrontation that needs to happen. There's a facing the issue, facing the person, the group of people. I feel like it's a group. There's a lot of collaborative energy here that needs to be aligned. The Knave of Swords. And the Knave of Pentacles. I think that one advice that's coming out here is, in order for this hurt to be overcome easily or easier, for it to be easier to be processed and healed, this pain, it's best to have a kind of a student approach, a beginner's mind. So it's like, if I had a blank page, how would I do this? How would I start? If I had no past, if I had no issues with this person, if I had no implications here, if there wasn't any problem, how would things be? To kind of picture it in your mind, to have an idea about what it could be, and to try to paint this idea in front of everyone while you are facing the problem, so that they know that you have a vision, that you can lead them into this illumination and knowledge with detachment and with the least amount of ego, let's say, so that everyone can have a role and can contribute something, can be constructive, can be a collaborative, healthy collaborative effort, but still with truth and with the availability of everyone, with the openness, having that openness to having that strength and openness that's enough to bring those hidden intuitions and hunches and fears and doubts, and to face them in a candid, honest way that is constructive for everyone. It's a very straightforward message. I hope this was helpful. Thank you so much. If you also enjoyed it, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I hope to see you again very soon. Bye. Pile number 3. So whatever your problem is something that has been on your mind and that is quite pressing. It's something that might be a little bit like a vicious cycle in your mind, like you're trying to solve it, but it's just circling in your mind. So, let's see. What else do we have for pile number 3? The cards are shy. Do we have any more? Just 2 more. Okay. A lot of fairy cards. Penelope, Dreamweaver. Okay, so maybe dreams. You're maybe even dreaming about this. The Bright Mother. This also speaks to us about an inspiration. Something that came to your mind in your dreams. The Sage. Okay. Again, the Singer of Intuition. It also came out in pile number 2. Iris of the Rainbows. I think that I should cover this card, so please give me a moment. Okay. So, I think that something came to you in your dreams or in your meditations, daydreams, or something is coming to you to help you, but it kind of ended up cycling in your mind, and you are not maybe you're not understanding the meaning of that message. Or there's also the possibility that there are a lot of ideas that are trying to come to you and they're not really yet understood or fully formed. And possibly this is leaving you in kind of how do I say this? Like this circular logic. I feel like it's like you have to solve something for it to stop being circular so that you can move forward, and you're kind of cycling in your thoughts and maybe it's also telling you that you should trust your own intuition so that the thoughts that come to you are not so raw, are not so unprocessed. It's like using your discernment and your wisdom and intuition. Because I feel like, because the iris of the rainbows is here, I feel like there's a stormy feeling, like there's a conflict. Possibly there are like conflicting thoughts or options, or it's like you're considering things and it's confusing, it's all jumbled, and you need to see the solution. And I think that this reading is saying that it will come. You're almost there. It's like it's almost coming, and it's going to be given to you so that you can discern. That's weird. It's like it's not a test, but it's sort of an exercise. It's like for you to exercise your wisdom. I feel like there's a lot of mental exercise, like intellectual exercise here. Possibly there are a lot of options. There are a lot of things to consider. Maybe it's a complex matter. It's not that simple That's what I'm getting. It's like it's not that simple. Okay. So what is this problem? 10 of Stones with home. Queen of Bows, hair. The Seer. The 7 of Arrows with insecurity. The 10 of Bows with responsibility. Intuition, the Seer. I feel like this message is very specific, and once I unlock the story, it will just flow, but just give me a moment. Page of Stones. The Green Man. King of Swords, of Arrows. Kingfisher. King of Vessels with Heron. And the 3 of Arrows with Jealousy. Okay. This is a very interesting reading. I just meditated for a little bit and I realized that I think that the solution to whatever problem is on your mind right now is not really an action. You just have to wait for the right time so that inspiration comes to you naturally. There are some elements that have to naturally flow. You have to be aware, maybe being more aware of how the environment is around you, how it's working for you and against you, what are the pros and cons of the situation, having this discernment. It's very deep wisdom of what is happening around you and the awareness, the intuitive, deep awareness of what is happening and all the different aspects. That's why the thinking, the thoughts are so important. And if you gather all the information instead of just trying to solve it, because you're missing a key piece of information, and it's not something that I think you can force. It's not something that you can just invoke magically, or you have to be so patient and aware, and to have this unlimited feeling, this feeling of unlimited time, like I have all the time in the world, and just relax and be still. And I think that that's the best way to get to where you want. Excuse me. Because I think that this constant thinking of the solution is kind of adding to the problem instead of helping you solve it. Okay, so what about the outcome of this? Wow, the blasted oak. I think you'll be completely surprised. It's something that is not in your control, something that you shouldn't even try to control. The Knight of Bows. But when it happens, you get to act. So it's like waiting patiently for your opportunity and just enjoying that time of stillness and rest to in a very detailed and precise manner, analyze your context, analyze the situation, gather all the data so that you can have a very good picture of what it is. You can use that information later on to act. And this is, to me, this is like a breakthrough moment. Like, finally I can move. Finally, it's like a relief. Finally I can make a move. I can make a decision. But you're not there yet. I feel like you should The solution now is just to be aware of where you are and wait patiently for the right moment, that it will come, the opportunity will come. 10 of Arrows with instruction. I think to me this is about the piece of information. It's like you have to learn something. Something needs to be passed down to you so that you can move forward. The 9 of Arrows with dedication. Yeah, I think that this is something that is you've made a lot of efforts. There's a lot of efforts into trying to solve this. But it's this key piece that is missing. The 6 of Bows with abundance. So winning, having the correct approach is really this stillness, this peaceful, receptive mode. That's how you win. It's interesting because it's the only way that you get the clues, that you get the information and the instruction, is if you're still and peaceful and waiting. It's a very cunning decision. It's something that requires cunning, maybe some like economy of efforts. It's like you have to spare your efforts. You can't just, it's not something that you can just think about it and instantly gets manifested. It takes a little bit of effort and also an intellectual effort, and the timing of the use of the information, the timing of the answer that you are giving or the answer that is coming to you is the most important thing here. So being aware of the timing, being aware of that you have to be prepared. You have to be prepared for the moment, for the right moment, and wait and be peaceful about it. So I was trying to clarify the 3 of Arrows here with jealousy, and the 6 of Stones with exploitation came out. This has been a bit of a recurring theme in the readings lately. Maybe it's a very collective energy of being protected until it's the right time. Because it's like people will exploit the opportunity and you have to be cunning. So being smart about it, being wise. The sage is about being wise, about discerning, about using that wisdom, applying the wisdom, embodying the wisdom. I think that you have a lot of resources that are possibly yet untapped. Maybe those resources are, some of them you're not really aware of them, and maybe you have to be instructed on how to use those resources first so that you are not exploited. So it's like there's a bit of a warning here. Possibly about someone who is kind of on the lookout, who is trying to get what you have. Exploit you. Someone who is trying to exploit your resources and to exploit your your energy. And you need to be smart about it. You need to take the opportunity when it comes. So rest for now and enjoy everything that you can. Absorb every information, every little piece of information. Learn a lot, study the situation, and gather all the ideas and all the arrows, let's say. I'm so sorry for the background noise. There's a bit of a party going on. So yeah, I think that this opportunity that is coming, it's just for you. And I think that this is also happening so that possibly other energies are excluded, because I also feel like this is like you surviving and thriving while everything around might be crumbling. So you escape. It's like you are protected by your intuition and by the information that you have gathered with your awareness, with your deep awareness of and connection to your surroundings, to the information that is around you, that you're going to use in your favor, and also to keep that protection, to keep that armor around something very precious to you. Very interesting. Thank you so much for this. If you also enjoyed it, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I hope to see you again very soon. Bye.